Hi guys, I would like to share with you guys an experiment I did with Lang Graph and which is a new version of LangChain and text AI text algorithms called embeddings to create a matching algorithm for my videos in my video editor. So basically, the task is that you have this is a video project, so you're editing a video. This is one of my videos that I put out on YouTube, and I'm using my own editor to create these videos. And so, based on the script, the first thing that happens is transcribes the script, and to the script, it automatically matches these clips from stock material. So the one of the great ways to reduce the amount of work that you have to do to create a video is to automatically match these up. And the algorithm for that is I actually thought this would be a trivial, simple thing, but apparently there's quite a science behind it. There are all kinds of very advanced matching algorithms, and in the past 7 years, or actually 10 years, starting to in 2013, there was a huge advance in being able to match up text with other text in a fuzzy kind of way. So what I stumbled upon is that since I'm using so much of what this editor does, because it's script based, it lets you edit a video like a document. So you get the scripts become your dashboard, the script fragments, and you attach and detach clips from that. So I'm using a lot of ChatGPT to match things up and to summarize, to extract chapters and titles. And it made a lot of sense to just look at ChatGPT. Maybe it has something for this. Well, it turns out that it does have something for this, and this is called embeddings. So I went into what embeddings are and what they mean. What these are is that you extract, basically, you take a phrase, or these algorithms take a phrase and they create a vector of numbers which represents that phrase in a way, in a high dimensional space where which expresses similarity. So basically, related words like queen and king, and that's the example they're using, would be close in many dimensions in that high dimensional space if you represent it with this number. So basically, you send in to this algorithm, you send in a phrase, you get back a vector of numbers, and then you can use that vector of numbers to find phrases that are near that point in that high dimensional space. In other words, that are similar to it. There are synonyms. I think this is just brilliant because it's a very, very efficient way of finding text. I did natural language processing. I was probably one of the very early projects probably one of the very early projects 25 years ago. I did a natural language processing project, but this is a lot cooler. Back then, we were using expert system. We were using something called frame-based knowledge representation, which is based on predicate calculus. It breaks down sentences in terms of subject and it says the things, the verb and the object and the subject, and it breaks it down and creates this structure that's far more rigid. This is really cool. I found material, so you guys can go to OpenAI documentation and look at embeddings if you have a document or text matching problem. And this is just a great API to use. And then what I did was I followed, researched this a little bit, and I found this really great document at Data Camp, which I also absolutely I absolutely recommend that you guys look at. So I just want to make sure you can see me. All right, you can see me. So if you guys look at this document, absolutely you should look at this document if you're interested in this technology, because it goes through the history of this kind of text processing, and it gives you a history where it started, what are the big landmarks, and then it also gives you the 5 top algorithms, which I found very interesting. So WordVac, Glove, Virtuvec, Glove, Fast Text, Embedding v3, and Universal Sentence Encoder. So I am using, it's mentioning OpenAI. I am using OpenAI embedding. So that's my choice, my chosen tool, and it works great. And so what you do is, let's say you have a list of, in my case, I have a list of videos. I pass in a list of video descriptions. And then you also pass in a list of the phrases, like the descriptions of the videos or chapters or something like that, or assertions made in those videos, and it matches them up and creates a best guess. There are further optimizations you can do, because and I had to do that because these algorithms, the way I described it, it will find the most relevant video every single time for each description. So you actually, if you want to make this work really well, you have to do a lot more things, right? Because the first time you try to match, it might match the most relevant video to that description, but then you go to the next description and you wish you didn't match the first time, because now the same video would be even more relevant to this description. So you have to use another algorithm to consider everything and then decide on what matches with what. So not a greedy algorithm, that's something that doesn't match too early. So I had to do a whole lot more work, but this is a great way to get started. And I used ChatGPT API. So this is the API that I showed you guys. You can find the documentation on ChatGPT website, complete with a coding example, not that difficult to use actually. And what else do I want to say about this? And yeah, and the way I implemented this was I created a Lang Graph agent. Lang Graph is a new version of a follow-up version of LangChain. Although they say LangChain will continue to get supported, Lang Graph is the next step. And I created an agent which is using, it's basically you build a graph. You build a graph of things you want to do, and the agent orchestrates these steps. The whole idea of an agent is that you want to do multiple things, like you want to do multiple calls to ChatGPT, for example. Like in this case, I call embeddings. There's another step where I extract assertions or titles and so on. So the reason I'm using an agent here is that I put together the steps, put together 2-3 steps, and you can just deal with it as one package, and the agent manages how the process goes through this graph and solves the problem and goes out to the APIs and gets back the response. So this is supposed to be the next big thing, agenting, because it can put together these little pieces and how to use these little APIs to do a complex task. So that's why I'm using Lang Graph. And ChatGPT is what is implementing. I'm using ChatGPT to implement the individual edges in this graph. So I hope you guys found this interesting. I find this technology fascinating, and I can see a ton of applications, in particular when it comes to document processing. Things like legal offices, where you want to find documents. And you vaguely remember. If you're a lawyer, you might vaguely remember what that case was about. You will not remember the exact wording. Well, this can find it very efficiently using these vectors, using these word vectors or phrase vectors. It can find it in seconds. You can find documents that are similar to what you're looking for in seconds in a huge library of documents. So I think the application are just unbelievable, limitless. So I hope you guys like this and found this useful. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe. It will help me out a great deal. Also, if you're interested, please let me know. If you want to sign up for early access to this video editor, it's going to be something that makes it very easy to create videos for promotion and document your journey, when you're trying to tell a story. Talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.